Juicy Joe Giudice, way back in the day, we had Juicy Joe Giudice on this podcast. I can't remember. I guess I should look it up. I think it was 2022. Maybe it was 2021, but probably 2022. At that point, it was a big thing. It kind of went viral. We had the Tamrat back in 2020. That's goodies. That was a big moment. We've had some huge moments on this podcast. But after Juicy Joe was on, you guys asked, when can he come back? Lots of people asked forever, month after month after month. Listen, last week here in the dead of the summer, July, we started this new From the Vault series, and we launched it with the one, the only Claudia Jordan. And I figured, what a great thing to do in July, the dead of July, the dead of August. Not a lot is going on in the entertainment business. Mind you, there's a lot of Bravo gossip stuff. I mean, Denise Richards, Sheena. I mean, I don't even know where to begin. All this stuff about the new season of Beverly Hills. OC and this whole thing with Katie, and there's a lot to actually talk about. But I'm like, let's see how this From the Vault series does. Never before aired chats. Well, everyone seemed to love our From the Vault with Claudia Jordan. Today, we are releasing this, and this is so interesting especially in light of everything that just happened, where Gia pleaded her case to President Trump to allow Juicy back in the country. She sent the character references, character letters. Lots of people came for Gia. So many people came for Gia that she actually apologized. Man, that's a whole thing in and of itself. So, I mean, this is in a way as relevant as ever. I mean, because we do talk all about Juicy coming back to the US, but look, of course, we talk about RHONJ, the future. How can the show go on with the Melissa and Teresa that don't speak to each other? Louie, we talk about Louie, lots of stuff to say about Louie. Gia, um, what else? Oh, Dolores, Miss Switzerland. We talk about my friend Marge, the Sarge. You guys know my friend Marge, the Sarge. Very nice woman. I'm not personally taking business advice from her. I mean, she put a whale on a shirt. I mean, don't put a whale on a shirt. Don't put a tiger on a shirt. Don't put a penguin on a shirt. Don't put anyone, I don't care if the person is fat, thin, tall, short. Don't put anyone riding a horse on a shirt. To be safe, don't put a damn horse on a shirt, right? Vineyard Vines, have you ever heard of it? Anyway, we talk about Marge the Sarge. We talk about my good friend Jennifer Aydin across the river, and her husband Bill. We got a lot to talk about with Juicy. This is a never before aired. This whole conversation in its entirety has never aired any part of it. It is not aired on Patreon. It is not aired on YouTube. It is not aired anywhere. So we are going to be sharing the chat in full and all these clips. It is a continuation of our From the Vault series. This was recorded in a prior time. When was it recorded? That is a good question. Come to the live show when we do our next live show with Sarah Fraser. We might do a live show with Amir. It is a Q&A. No question is off limits. So this is a never before aired. No one has heard this chat at all. You haven't heard even a minute of it. From the Vault, never before release chat recorded. I don't know when. We'll figure it out. With the one, the only Juicy Joe Giudice. Roll tape.
Taking a video. I mean, it had to be the guy that was with them over there. I mean, I don't know who it was.
Do you think in retrospect, they didn't have the right intentions and it was just to have an internet viral moment?
I think so. You know, I mean, I think so. I mean, whether they had good intentions or not, I mean, you know, I mean, Richie ended up showing up here one day. You know, Richie, she were talking about Wakile, you know, what's her name?
Kathy.
Kathy's husband ends up showing up here one day with a friend of mine to surprise me. And Gabriella happened to be here. And Gabriella's like, "What are you doing?" Right? Because, obviously Teresa doesn't speak to them. And I was like, he just showed up. I think he wasn't even supposed to be here. He just shows up at my house. What am I supposed to do? He ends up staying here one night. But then the next day, you know, Then I'm getting calls from Teresa, what is he doing there? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm getting all this heat, right? And I'm like, he just showed up. This is your cousin, not mine. You know what I mean? And so he ended up spending the night here, and then he ended up leaving the next day and getting a hotel across the way. We hung out for a few days. You know what I mean? It was fine. You know what I mean? I didn't have an issue about it, but obviously Teresa did, and was making it very uncomfortable. And that was that.
Is that why he left? Like, did you get a call from Teresa and she's like, get him out of there and get him into a hotel or let him go to a hotel?
Well, number one, I didn't know he was coming, so I had room for my friend. I have 4 bedrooms here, but I had room for my friend to stay here, Alex. But I didn't really have an extra room for him. I mean, I could have put a blowout for him or whatever, but Teresa was making a big deal about it, and I was like, Alex, we gotta just like get him out of here. And it's like he's like, you're right. I'm sorry. I didn't think anything of it like that. And I was like, that's not a big deal. I mean, what am I going to do? They just don't get along. And well, what am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? We still do talk, me and Teresa. It's not like we don't talk. So she's calling me every minute. I can't believe you have COVID. I can't believe he's here. I'm like, Tree, this is your cousin. I go, how the hell? I didn't even know he was showing up. But it was kind
Did
of like a surprise for me, too.
and she kept calling every hour on the hour until he was out of there?
Yeah, pretty much. I was like, look, he's not here anymore. She's like, good. You better not let him get. I'm like, all right, Tree.
So that sounds like you would have let him stay. You would have found a blow up bed, but Teresa really wanted him out of there, and that's why he was out of there.
Plus, my daughter Gabriella was here. She was here with her friends, and it was she made it uncomfortable, Teresa. You know what I mean? And plus, calling Gabriella every second, saying, "I can't believe he's there." To get him out. Your father better get him out. All this stuff. So I was like, it really made it like very uncomfortable for a few days. And then even Gabriella was like, can we just like not hang out with him one night? And I'm like, but he's here now. What's the big deal if we go out with him, to dinner at night? Even he felt uncomfortable. You know what I mean? But I mean, I don't, look, I mean, at the end of the day, we spent many years together as well with him. You know what I mean? Yeah, everybody on the show for some reason acted out in one way or another that wasn't right. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like it was, it was the show. You know what I mean? I guess that's what the show does. You know what I mean? They want everybody to like. They don't like people that just get along and do whatever. They don't want that. They want people to fight. They want people to like, you know, start things and do whatever. I mean, I don't think it's always fun watching. Every once in a while, I write a fight, but I mean, every scene has got to be a fight.
So isn't that kind of sad? Like Teresa would still be speaking to Kathy and Richie, her cousins, Joe, her brother, and Melissa. Like, isn't that kind of sad all for a show?
Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty much all ended for a show. You
I
know.
mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much over a show. Because I mean, we did always hang out back in the day. It wasn't like we didn't hang out. You know what I mean? We hung out a lot, and we hang out. We actually hung out for years. We had a lot of good times. You know what I mean? They were always on my boat every weekend. You know what I mean? Down, whether it was down the shore, or whether down, wherever it was. They were always there. So yeah, pretty much over a show. You know what I mean? They pretty much stopped hanging out and doing what they were. I guess gave up a family over a show.
Well, that to me is sad.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, really, Teresa doesn't have a huge family here. I mean, the only person she had was Kathy, her brothers, um, her brother, and that's it. That's really all she has here. And then she's got family in Italy. She's got some family in Belgium. You know what I mean? But other than that, here, that's all she has is really Kathy. That's her first cousin. You know what I mean? Because Kathy's mother and my father-in-law were brothers and sisters. So they were like, brother and sister, obviously. You know what I mean? So they were cousins. Richie was a cousin, through marriage, but he was still a cousin. Then you had
What
Rose.
you had Rosie. Well, I mean, you connected with Richie and there he was, and you guys had a good time, and Gabriella was there. I mean, you do speak to Teresa. Do you ever think of maybe being the one to kind of say, let's reconcile these two? Let me set up a meeting here.
I don't think that she wants that. She's more, I don't know, I guess kind of done with it all already. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't really know what happened afterwards, when Louis came on, because I know some pretty harsh stuff happened with Louis. Well, I mean, look, he didn't go to the wedding. You know what I mean? Either one of them went to the wedding. And from what I understand, I don't even think Richie went to the mom's wake, from what I understand. I think. You know what I mean? I don't know if Kathy went. I'm not sure. But from what I understand, I don't even think Richie went to the wake or anything like that. So I mean, hey, listen, she's got her you know, whatever. I mean, listen, I can't tell her what to do or not to do. You know what I mean? If she, I believe that's what she said to me. She said something about him not going to the wake. You got him over the house. Blah, 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 blah. You didn't even go to my mother's wake. Blah, 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 blah. I don't want to tell you what else she said, but let's
It's
just,
it seems like there was a lot of other stuff.
there's a lot of other stuff involved. You know what I mean? That I didn't really know about. And, you know, and he always, would reach out. And even when I was in Italy, actually, he was happy to be there when I was in Italy. So when I got out, he wanted to come and see me. You know what I mean? And Teresa was like, you better not go see him. You better just not answer the phone, this and that. I'm like, all right, all right, all right, And that was that. So I didn't even answer the phone when I was in Italy to see him.
And the
You
other
know,
stuff she told you is even worse because not going to someone's parents' wake, I mean, that seems pretty.
yeah, that's not nice. No matter what the situation might have been or whatever it is, as far as not talking, being on the show or doing whatever and saying all these ridiculous things on the show. But I mean, when it's, somebody passes away, you pay your respect, you know what I mean? Especially your family.
Do you talk to Louis more than you talk to Teresa? Because I mean, you talk to him on your own, right?
Listen, we're not like, we don't talk on the phone every day, no. I mean, every once in a while, you know what I mean? We talk or, whatever. Listen, Joe, we're coming out over here, you know what I mean? Why don't you meet us? Blah, blah, blah,